Welcome back to my Let's Play series. This is Minecraft Quest with SRJ26. This episode I'm going to show you some stuff on our live server. I am almost done with all the stuff I wanted to show you, and this is a build that I made called the Floating Restaurant. I live in New England, not too far from the Boston area, and we actually have a floating restaurant in, I think it's Salem, Mass. And if you go to the right spot, a little dinghy will come by and they'll actually take you over onto the restaurant. It's sort of out in the bay. And that was the inspiration for this build. The other inspiration is that my lovely wife is now playing, and my son has a campus, like a compound right over here, and I wanted them both to be able to have easy access to food in case they were having problems. So the restaurant is floating so that you cannot, hopefully we won't have any problems with mobs or anything getting onto it, and it's of course well lit. And the idea is you swim over and it says welcome to the floating restaurant. You go in and it says press signs and read, read signs and press button. Don't press signs and read button. And place your order. By pressing the button, you got cooked pork, bread, fish, cocoa bean cookies, and mushroom stew. So I am a mushroom stew guy myself. So I'm going to pop that button, and it says pick up order here. It comes floating over, and we can go have our stew. And right there it says empty bowls and tips here. So unfortunately I cannot write never start a land war in Asia, but I'll leave a bowl for good measure. And that is the restaurant. Needless to say, everything always has more than is evident on the front, on the face. So let's go up and take a look at the cooks section. Up here we have dispensers that I'm going to check to see if anyone's been eating. I don't think these have been. Oh, you got one cookie gone, and of course one mushroom soup that is now back. So this is where I can come up and replenish the supplies, and we've got some bins of materials here to try to keep a handle on everything, and of course a couple of furnaces to cook our food, because we would not want to give anyone raw pork. That would be poor. And that is the floating restaurant. Now, because I actually like walking places rather than swimming, and because practically every house in this world has a bunkhouse, there is more down here. So we'll go downstairs in the floating restaurant, and it's still a little... Come on, there you go. It's still a little sparse down here. I really haven't outfitted it with furniture or anything, in part because that's hard in Minecraft. But we've got a few beds for the weary traveler, and we've got another way down. And let me just get that. And now we are in a connecting tunnel. And the connecting tunnel goes up to the floating restaurant, and if we go onwards, we will go to the supply hall between Dante's area and my area. And if we go back and around the corner down there, that will take us to the Eastern Roadhouse. So no more swimming or boating to get to the Eastern Roadhouse and then go meet up with friends or do stuff. And I'm going to go into the supply area, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've got going on here. I've made some revisions. That's new. In fact, I had a creeper explode and it prompted the rebuild, and that's why now we also have glowstone. And we always get these little buggers showing up here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Or die. I probably should have prodded him with something other than a sword, eh? And again, we're hoping that someday we have fish other than just squid to look at, but for now it's pretty nice. I had to remove one chest so that I could fit the entrance to the corridor, but 5 chests is perfectly fine. So that's the floating restaurant. Now you may wonder where I get my materials to fill up the bins. Well, I'm going to show you that, and pretty soon we're going to break and do this in 2 parts, but I will show you the food supply first. You saw a fishing pole back in. Now don't look around. Don't look. That was actually my base. Last time you saw it, it was very different. But I will walk you through all the weird things I did. But first, we have an underwater farm. And I'll actually go up and show you the top view first. Why did I make it? Oh, I don't need to be doing that. I got a plate here. Okay. So, I did this because I didn't want some huge, ridiculous farm on my small little island. But I didn't want it to be obvious either. I wanted it to be sort of subtle and not, not an eyesore. So the solution was to put it under a layer of glass and a layer of water. And the results are pretty good. And let's go bring in the harvest. And I've already got enough bread to last for like forever, since this is a rather small server. But it's pretty simple to take care of. We simply get a hoe, and we get some seeds. And this is piston driven, so we're going to throw the switch. It says lever will harvest wheat. Do not push till it's tall and gold. And there we go. And we just wait, and it all shows up. And of course, salt water is actually very, very good for farming. You'd be surprised. You hear about, salting the earth. Well, it's actually amazing. You should see. Okay, so we turn off the piston, and the water is gone. It goes into Magic World. And the next step, of course, is to go in, and I will do a little bit, but you know what? I don't really need a lot because I've got so much already. And you get the idea. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Someday I'll probably have melons up there or pumpkins or something. And that is the way that I am dealing with the whole making bread for the floating restaurant. I don't actually eat a lot of bread, though. I actually eat a lot of mushroom soup. And the reason is that you can stack 64 mushrooms and then a million bowls, and you're good to go for a long time. And it's quite healthy for you. So I'm going to close this door here, and the last thing I will show you for this episode is the mushroom, well, farm, I guess. Mushroom tubes is really what it is. And I didn't invent this, but I'm be hard-pressed to tell you where it came from at this point. But it's certainly not my invention. So this is, I'm actually going to break it down and then build it up again so you can see. But okay, so this whole thing is a honeycomb of tubes, and the tubes here and here and of course here are the seed tubes, and I've put mushrooms in specifically to seed the other tubes, the tubes that are the 4 sets that are here, 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 and on the other end. And what happens is mushrooms will spread their seeds across blocks near them, and they don't have to have line of sight. So let me put my wood back here. So what happens is you get this setup. I don't know why I use netherrack. There's no good reason. But I've got this setup of a fairly massive series of tubes, and it zigzags going up in this section of the room. So the ceiling does not continue, well, I don't want to dig that out because it's smooth stone. But the ceiling goes up, and it's another 4 or 5 blocks up from here. And there's water at the top. And the water is rigged up so that it will flow down, and the water will go down, forwards, down, then backwards towards the back wall, then down, and then forwards again. And going back and forth, it sweeps out all the mushrooms, and I can pick them up. And I am having a race between the brown and the red, and I believe the red is still winning, which is why I have my center seed tubes with more red than brown right now. Although it doesn't matter. Again, I have more mushrooms than I'll ever go through as well. The key, though, oh, here's the next set. That must be the top tube now coming down. And let me get those. And there we go. And that is our harvest. You got to turn it off so that it does not keep on flooding the tubes. And I got 27 red and 17 brown from that harvest. And let me put the brown in here. You can see I've got all the mushrooms in the world. I barely even know why I'm still doing this. For your enjoyment. That's why I'm doing this, for your entertainment. So that is the mushroom farm. And at this point, I'm going to sign off. So that's the floating restaurant. It's something I put in. Again, it's not a quest, but being a dad and helping to admin a small multiplayer server with a whitelist, it's also about trying to make an environment for the people on your server, especially if they're your kids and your kids' friends. So, we try to make it fun and engaging and safe and provide for them in some ways. So it's not, oh my goodness, another one grew already. Wow. So that's all I've got for you this episode. I will try to find some URLs for how to make these mushroom tubes, but really it's pretty simple. You just set up a grid work of tubes, and then you can pass water through them to sort of flush them out. So it's a great way to create food for yourself and for folks on your server. Thank you for watching, and next time I'm going to show you all the crazy redstone stuff I did with the new pistons that came out since the last time you really got a chance to see my base. Bye-bye.